Who's doing the intro?
All right.
Oh,
Bro, can you not say that when we record it?
bro,
I
it was
really
just
described
dead
it like
quiet
30
for like
seconds ago.
10 seconds.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to the episode. So we're going to talk about Devara today. We're going to talk about it in spoilers. So if you have not watched it, do not watch this. Come back to it after. But as usual, like when we review our films, we're going to go into our positives, then we'll go into our negatives, give our overall thoughts and so on. We have a few returning guests here. We have Nakul, Anis, and Gautam coming back after a while. So yeah, excited to have you guys on. We can start with the positives. I'll let the fans go because I know they're really excited to talk about it.
This
So
dude's already
yeah,
budging out for like
go
10
ahead.
minutes, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, start
Gautam or
the
Nakul?
budging out.
No, I want to hear the antis first.
Negatives
I
first?
want to see where you guys start shit talking, so I can just end it after that.
No, just start with your budging out, bro.
We
Talk
have, to
about
end it on, we have to end on a good note because it's a good movie, so you have to end it on a good note.
But no one's gonna be watching at that point. I hope you realize. So you
What?
better start now. No one's
That's
gonna
fine.
watch the video
That's
at
fine.
that
It's my satisfaction.
Oh, it's
Well,
gonna be a
always-
Buri. A Buri's watching till the end.
Oh, Boy's
point.
gonna watch. Abhinav's gonna watch.
Again. That's it.
Abhinav won't talk, but he'll watch.
Abhinav will do anything besides come on the episode.
Yeah, exactly. He'll support in every which way. He'll text me after too, but he'll just be like, "No, I just can't talk."
No, we're doing positive, so you go first.
Go.
No, I can't
Come
go
on.
first. I don't
Fine.
want to go first.
Gautam, what positives do you have?
The positives is that ఎక్కువ commercialism లేదు. I think that there's a over hype వెళ్ళి ఎక్కువ కమర్షియల్ అయిపోయి కొంచెం ఫ్యాన్ సర్వీస్ లిమిటెడ్ గా పెట్టారు. So I'm happy about that. And first time in a while, like I've been an NTR fan for like more than a decade now.
ఆ ఫియర్ సాంగ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఎప్పుడు every time it's a soft dappa for that movie. What are you talking, fans?
My blood was boiling. My blood was
My
boiling when I
blood
heard
is
that song.
actually boiling right
I have to
Dude.
work out to that song.
Wait, did you
hate
pongi
PRs in that song.
Nakul, were you having pongi portum lopala?
I'm not even normal pongapadam. Blood is boiling. It's just
Dude,
my.
she
I
had
had
some
goose pimples.
she had some B-grade dialogues in this movie, bro. I was shocked at some of the things John V.
Yeah, dude. You know one of the songs they just kept? I just realized that.
Dawoodi.
Dawoodi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was waiting for that
that
song.
was
Anis told me.
Who?
అసలు అది పోతే I was like, what? Why am I even here?
I know. I was actually sad.
For Tamale?
Yeah, but Chutamale is for Chutamale is just softcore. Like, you know, like that shit was
I
so
don't know.
awkward to watch.
The heroine was just a side character we didn't really care about.
Apparently, she
one
had two pages of dialogues.
Yeah, I mean,
That's more than what Srikanth had for sure.
I mean, that's also more than what Prabhas had for the entire movie, and it was his movie.
they made it
That's a
seem
lot.
like she recited a 2-page dialogue in one scene, but that never happened.
Ooh.
That's the
Johnny
same
the-
dialogue on both pages. Pongi poi and lopla. So not much to, you know. Anyways, yeah, I'll yeah, I agree with Gautam. Because usually, no, I know it sounds crazy, but in NTR movies, there's like usually way more build up. The first half introduce Jestaru, but then like a lot of it is world building, like the 4 villages. They talk about like safe and other stuff. There's definitely some heroisms, but compared to like Temper or Janata Garage or like other movies where every scene is just a walking tribute to him,
It's like
you
a
know.
classic
So it's a little less mossy. There's only like 5 fights in the whole movie, like 4 or 5 fights. There's a lot of dialogue scenes and a lot of like slow world building scenes. So I like that.
Yes,
I think
that's the thing. It's not only NTR in the movie. They give time for the other characters and their development.
Yeah, and the NTR doesn't even enter until like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, so I think they tried doing what Salar did with like trying to build the world. I think Prashant Neel did it better, but I like that aspect. But I think it what's it called? Oh, okay, positives, right? Yeah. So I think that's a big positive. I agree. It could have been way more mossier. NTR usually yells in all of his fucking movies, but he didn't yell in this one. His dialogues were very like toned down.
But he doesn't.
I found that to be a negative.
You found that to be a negative, really?
I wanted to see him explode at least once. At least
I mean,
once.
I
That's
feel
what
like
I actually-
It's so out of character though. Devara's character isn't like
Not there. I mean, Vara could have done it. It doesn't like in some way, like, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, like I think yeah, like I have two positives for this movie, like two big positives. One obviously is NTR, which we already have been talking about.
JNTR.
Anirudh. All right,
mean?
these two guys have like carried the entire movie. I think
Who's the second one?
Anirudh.
Oh,
I think Kartla like somewhat failed. Like he pumped out an average film. The writing was not that great, but NTR still carried it, and Anirudh with his background music killed it. So those are my biggest positives of the whole movie. Those two guys, and then a few sequences. Like I think like the sequences that work the best is like obviously the interval fight. I think that was pretty sick. With the music, everything, the whole thing was sick. And the climax, like yeah, a lot. I didn't like the very end where like it had the Bahubali ending, but at least the whole ocean fight I thought was like cool because of also Anirudh's music combined with what was going on. Like it was cool. So I like a lot of people were like shitting on the shark and stuff. It's fine. Like I mean, obviously like the CGI is not gonna look great, but it's fine. Like I still liked it. But yeah, so those are like I would say those sequences I liked a lot, and then NTR and Anirudh are my biggest positives.
Anis and Ankit, what'd you guys like?
My
You
favorite
didn't-
part of this movie is the fact that they tried to venture into like the ocean aspect and take like filming in that direction. I think the last time they did that was probably for like that movie with Rana where he's like in the Navy, right?
Yeah,
Ghazi.
Ghazi.
Yes. Yeah, so this is really cool. I think they have to use like very specific camera lenses and stuff, so filming must have been really hard. But that's all I have to say.
Your biggest positive is the fact there's water in the movie. Look at Nicole, you hurt his feelings.
I might have to leave the call after hearing that. That was atrocious.
Okay, that's okay. I just want to establish that that's the only positive that you have. We're giving you a second chance. Anything else?
No.
Okay, the Samudram is the big. Okay.
Samudram is nice.
Like you actually hated it, huh?
Yeah.
I have the same respect for Anis as I do for Ankit now.
He hasn't even talked yet.
Yeah.
I haven't said a
Oh,
single
come on,
word.
to go to
Oh,
Chappal.
don't worry. I don't need Ankit to say a word. I already know what it is.
Okay, say a word.
I
Ankit,
just,
say
I
a
just saw
word.
his face.
So we're talking about positives, right?
Yes.
So I think
Yeah.
NTR, like obviously like he's always doing good in all his movies. Even if a movie is terrible, like he's still good in it, right? Like a movie like Rabasa, which I know Nakul probably like Nakul loves that. Like Andhrawala.
He's not good in Rabasa. Let's get that clear.
I never said that, but
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
just
don't know why
saying,
he's bringing
cool.
up these
No,
ass
no.
movies.
no, continue before because I know what you're trying to do is just piss me off. So just continue before it gets to that point, and then these guys have to filter.
Get to your point. Yeah, don't talk about
Yeah,
Rabasa
so, like,
in here. Yeah.
Even though like technically it's not like he didn't have to do something crazy, I think he still like did really well. I liked how he was able to turn on and off, like just like how in others he was able to do Chari, and then I forgot the other guy's name, but like how he's able to go from one end of the spectrum to another end. Like I thought he was able to switch on and off like really well, so I thought that was really good. I really like the cinematography, like Anis was saying, like the water fights and everything, like it was just like shot very beautifully. I think the ocean was really well. Like sometimes the CGI was like pretty bad because like like how he enters, like how Vijay like like the jumping out of the water one, like that the CGI was pretty bad for that. But otherwise, like I think the visuals all around were really well. I think like you guys were saying, the BGM and everything. Yeah, that's it.
This guy took all of your positives and just plagiarized them with a few more sentences.
Dude, what else can you say though? Going last.
Yeah. Dude, there's this dialogue in the movie that I was dying. Like I laughed out loud. It's when like Vara goes to see Saif Ali Khan. He's like, "What's he looking at?" Chatlin Neil and she like, you know what I'm talking about? I just died laughing. I was like, it's such a ratchet dialogue. It's such a serious scene. I was just like, oh my god. I loved the Vara character. I haven't seen NTR do comedy in like a long time.
Yeah.
Arvind Sameta, he was like, okay, yeah, I guess he kind of did comedy, but like, not really. Temper, Asu scope ledu. So it's been a long time, and his Vara character was like, the scenes were cringe. I agree, but I was like laughing at like the John V jokes. I like
I think the Vara
yeah.
type of comedy that he did is the closest thing you can get to that is what he did in others.
Yeah.
I
Since
think
then, yeah, because he doesn't. And then like Janvi, I thought her character was like it was unnecessary, but like when she was on screen, at least they made her the butt of the joke. And at least I laughed. I was just like, whenever she came on screen, our theater laughed too. So clearly it worked out. Was she needed? Was that song needed? Was the extra 20 minutes needed? Probably not. But they say in part 2 they wrote some crazy like crazy level character.
Yeah.
That's what Cortala says. So
ఇక్కడ 1 minute అక్కడ 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
అక్కడ చచ్చి fuck in the second part, but that's what they mean by important role. It means she dies in the second part. When Rashmika Papa, like in Pushpa 2, we know what's gonna happen. You know, but yeah, I can't think of much more. I mean, it entertained me. You know, I wasn't bored. And for a 3-hour movie, I think that's an accomplishment. I didn't like check my phone. I was like, oh, when is this shit gonna end? Um, and a big part of that is thanks to NTR. Like, there's some scenes where he dances and he just looks like he's having fun. Like at the wedding,
Oh.
Srikant's sister's wedding. He looks so cute. I just want to pinch his boogaloo. Like he looks so cute dancing. And he carries the movie on his shoulders. But yeah, a lot of other people let him down. Like fucking Srikant, dude. He just shows up every few scenes, cries a little bit, and then leaves.
The
Wait, there was
supporting
another
characters
character, one of the other villagers,
Which
with
one?
like his eye gone, right? He has
Oh,
his
that
only dialogue is to say
yeah.
ah. Like this.
Yeah, Shine Time. And they bought his ass from a different industry just to do nothing.
From Malayalam.
Isn't that a guy that isn't that the bad guy from Pushpa?
Dasara?
One?
Dasara.
Sorry
It's
fetish.
Devara.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
What movie is that from? Pushpa?
Dasara.
Dasara, that's what it was.
Ankit's movie of the year, yeah.
See, that comes to show how shit of taste he has. I don't know what does.
This
And
is
no one
actually
talked about Ayuda
great.
Puja. That was crazy.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a good song. Ayuda Puja.
Yeah, yeah,
Ayuda Puja. I think
song.
for me, that's the highlight of the movie.
that song.
Yeah. That
I thought
song
the
and that
song
scene.
was good. I just didn't understand it that as much.
Kodemo Ocean antaru. Kodemo oka song is a highlight of the movie antaru.
No
Nigga
one
san
cares
nachinda
about
Gautam bhaiya.
Yeah, I like the movie. I mean, obviously, negatives in my movie, but I like the movie.
Ayuda Puja fights kuda baguntai. Like the fights that happened there.
Mm.
All the fights were cool. I didn't think a single one was like bad. Especially when Devara first gets ambushed at the beach. Interval da kada. The way they shot that was really cool. It reminded me of like the crack fight or the crack fight where they like are in the sand and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. He gets Raviteja gets ambushed at a beach in that movie. And I really liked that fight. So fights were good. NTR carried the movie, but yeah, there's a lot of negatives. To get into more detail, I need to discuss the negatives, but those are my positives.
Anyone else have any positives?
I think I'll go. I mean, you guys said a
What
lot.
else? But go ahead.
NTR's existence is a positive. Kad nakalannai.
That's the biggest positive. That's it's a
You
given.
kind of look like him right now.
Dude, see, that's why I did this. I did this.
Yeah.
I did that, and I wanted to do this
like-
and
or
do
look
the
like
side
Vishwak.
part. Make it look like I have a curly hair.
Yeah, like him and Oostervelli.
I see Wishbrook more than NTR.
That don't compare me to him. I can't be seen as that.
Vishwak's hotter though.
No, NTR's hotter. Don't lie.
Wait,
NTR
Anis, as a woman, do you find NTR attractive?
She also doesn't like. She also thinks the movie shit. So I can't. Like I said, same. My opinion of her
Okay.
and her taste in movies is the same things I
Stop
keep.
roasting
Okay,
me.
talk about your positives. What do
I
you
think
like?
the movie. There's not a single point where I felt like this movie was boring by any means. I mean, and of the recent time, I think at least every movie, at least at some point, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel like sleepy or just I'm starting to get tired or whatnot. I was running on like 4 hours of sleep and I was engaged the entire time throughout. And the emotion.
What is this?
What is this?
It's so scary.
What just happened?
You
That's
just
probably
started screaming.
Ankit.
You just started. I have no
Why do I feel
idea.
like Ankit did this?
What is
I'm
to-
not-
What the fuck is this? Together mode has been enabled. You have to change
Alright.
the scene.
Ankit,
whatever.
why the fuck do you do
Alright.
this?
Yeah, Ankit,
Like
I saw that.
speaker view. Okay, bet. There we go.
Why are we sitting like this?
Wait, is it better now? On
I
my
like-
side,
Good now, right? It's in grid view, right?
yeah, it is for me.
I mean, it's still there for
Okay,
me.
everyone click on grid view. Go to view and
Go to
click
view
on
and click grid view, and we're good.
Oh my fucking god, this is a disaster. Click grid view. Click grid view.
Ankit, what did you do, bro?
Dude,
I didn't
you
do anything.
literally said Saikata did it first of all.
Yes.
It says your name.
No. Okay, I'll continue.
Okay, so you're saying this is your favorite movie this year that came out? That's Tollywood. Kalki and others came out too, so I'm just
Yeah, I
wondering.
mean, Kalki, I thought was like a little, like it was good. I was entertained, but like I found this to be a lot more entertaining, to be honest. And
Okay.
it's not even just me. I thought I was just in there because I was like being this big of an NTR fan as I am. But I think like everyone I went with too, like my brother, he loved it. My cousin, they loved it. I don't know if it was just the experience we had where we had like 15 people all went together and then it was the experience, but I genuinely loved it. And and it's been a long time. So, I mean, there might've been other factors, which partook in me like enjoying it so much. But I think like NTR's acting to like just seeing like him through and throughout and seeing the potential and like realizing like, oh, holy shit, this guy has so much potential. And like, he's a true actor. He'll make you feel every emotion that he's feeling and you have that sense of emotions and you feel it too. So in that sense, I don't know. I just love the movie in a which way. So I loved it through and throughout. I think coming out of the first half, I was like, holy shit, this movie is fucking fire. And then even the second half, like, yeah, it wasn't, I guess I could see it. I didn't like it as much the first half because I love the first half, but even the second half, I was like, okay, I don't see why people are roasting this shit so much. So then I was ready to like cook anyone else that's like starting to roast this movie. Like I know online there were so many like shit reviews. I was like, dude, what the fuck are these people seeing? Motherfuckers are like blackout. What like okay, like if people are roasting this movie and they're praising like I was just watching Sorry Boy this on and I was like, all right, this movie's mid. It's not that big of a deal. And then people are like thinking this movie's like Oscar nomination type film. I was like, dude, that's cap. Half these movies that came out that people are like thinking it's amazing, I think it's cap compared to this. Personally, I don't know. That's why
I
I feel like
agree.
we also have to compare it to like the budget it gets, right? Like I didn't like Sete Poder Cinemarum, but like
I mean, if you think about it, like I like this more than Solar, to be honest. Like in Solar, the main actor, they dedicated like 3 lines. I'm like, dude, can
yeah,
you talk
I
more? Like,
can't
is this
speak
guy
for
mute?
Solar.
Like, what the hell is going on? I like this so much better than Pushpa. I thought Pushpa. I never in my life watched a movie and wanted to came out of it wanted to shower, which I did at like 1 a.m. That's how disgusting a movie that was. But this one, I want to learn how to swim.
Dude, what is happening?
Like, I'm saying, like,
You have to cut it off right here.
I enjoyed this movie
there's a
throughout.
limit. There's a limit. Next
Yeah.
thing, if we give you
Yeah.
5 more minutes, you'll say it's better than Godfather. Godfather Part 2. Scarface.
Godfather's a shit movie either way, though.
Dude, oh my
Not
god.
Chiranjeevi.
No, he's talking about Chiranjeevi's God.
No,
Oh,
I'm
no,
talking
I'm
about
talking about
God.
Chiranjeevi
I'm
one.
talking about
Oh, you're
God.
talking
Like,
about that's too much. No, let's talk about the Chiranjeevi Godfather. That movie's ass.
No, dude, that's Rodfather first of all. It's not Godfather.
Dude, how
Okay.
do I change this view?
Dude, I told you, click on view.
Like grid view.
Click on grid view. Yeah. Come on, you're a technology consultant.
Dude, no, I'm supply chain. Which is
Okay, we can move on to negatives because yeah, I think we have a lot more to talk about here.
I'll start with my one and only negative.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go for it.
Well, one of the 2 negatives. Johnny Kapoor, like there was really no need for her to be in there. Like she had no value. They just added her as a filler, and then also the other song. I didn't realize they just took it out altogether. So she was basically there, and there wasn't like a proper song at all. Like aside from like the Chuttamale, everything else kind of like a BGM kind of goes along with the story. Chuttamale just came out of nowhere. They did their little dance thing and then went on. And after that, there was no other song. That they already released a video song before, but they didn't do that. But that was my main negative.
Yeah,
What-
she was.
అందుకే వీడియో సాంగ్ రిలీజ్ చేశారు. They know that they won't put it in the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like that. I realized that after too. I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why didn't they just put the song at all?"
I mean, I get why she's in it. Like, Hindi
just-
buzz. But I
Yeah.
don't. They could have written her a better. Yeah, definitely. I mean, this dude Cordala does not know how to write. Has there ever been a movie where like maybe Mirchi, I guess, but he does not know how to write like a proper female lead.
Yeah.
I guess like Srimanthadu.
Yeah.
Shruti Hassan did good in that. Like
Yeah, she was
her
fine.
voice.
Yeah. I mean, but she was like, for a movie that's 3 hours, when you have an actress that takes up like 20, 30 minutes of your movie.
She was introduced in the second half.
Yeah, but people are gonna. They say that second half look at the scope and at the role and at the booking. Like we know nothing's gonna happen in the second half. We know she's gonna get axed, but like in this movie, she stopped the momentum because I think Chuttamale shows up before Vara fights those guys at the Ayuda Puja or something. So it's a crucial scene, and instead we get this stupid song. And like, what are those lady? Is this what Gardala thinks women talk about? Like bongi boredom and like their sex like constantly. That's all they talk about. Her gang of people. They just talk about like
Dude, our entire theater was
Gokuram. They talk
laughing.
about Gokuram.
Yeah, no,
About
our
like
entire theater was laughing whenever they had like Johnny Kapoor and her
yeah, her
entourage
squad.
of
Yeah,
people just talking, conversing.
yeah. Which is
And basically
fine.
the other girl was waiting for Janvi Kapoor to decide if she wanted Vara or not.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, you take him. If you don't take him, I'll take him. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, how is that? Like
Yeah.
that part, it was just, we thought it was comedy at this point.
It's
We didn't
comedy,
think-
but like you don't need like it's also like when you
Yeah.
have 3 hours, do you need that shit in the final cut? You know what I mean?
I feel like it
Um,
just felt like there was there's probably, I feel like they shot so much more with like the Janvi Kapoor incorporated, but they just cut it all out.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Because
Right.
there's like Dawoodi, so there has to be scenes following that song.
Exactly.
Doesn't
Yeah, there
matter.
has to be one more, and they just like cut it out.
She was actually good in that song. Like, she danced well, so they cut out the one thing she actually did well in the movie. So I feel for her. I'm like, damn.
No, didn't she also like say something in an interview too, saying like she tried her best to like match like NTR's like energy with dance and stuff too, and all that shit too. But then
Probably.
and that was the one thing she did it for was that movie or for that song, and she got cooked.
Anis, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm sure you're making great points, but you are muted.
I was saying, like, why did they even release that song if they were going to cut it out of the film? I feel like Kartala does that. He did that to Kajol too in Acharya.
I heard about that.
Was
Yeah.
it in Acharya?
I didn't know she had a song. Dang.
She
No,
was in.
ఇక్కడ కూడా
part of
కట్
the
చేయాల్సింది జాన్విని.
Oh, the character.
కాజల్ని తీసినట్టే జాన్విని కూడా కట్ చేసేస్తుంటే సరిపోయేది.
I heard Kajol got
Waste.
pregnant or something during filming. That's
Give him a top.
yeah, I mean that's yeah, I don't know.
She already acted in it.
Hey, let's be honest. Did Acharya really need one more reason to be bad? No, it was ass anyways.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. I didn't even know Kajol was cut.
Janvi stuff. Like I was like, yeah, it doesn't need to be there, but I think there's bigger negatives than Janvi. Like personally, I thought there were bigger negatives. Like yeah, her stuff wasn't like the greatest, but I think for a certain audience that wanted to see that, like it was fine. Like we were all saying, like our theater people laughed and stuff. So some people did get a kick out of it, but it wasn't needed. But I think like for me at least, like one of the worst problems is that none of the supporting characters, like Janvi aside, none of the supporting characters had any depth or any sort of development, character arc, nothing. Like they didn't matter at all. Because obviously the whole movie runs on NTR, so you know, whatever. But like important characters like Saif or Srikant or whoever, like are just useless. Like they don't have any role in the like actual story. Like they're just there. There's no like depth to them. Like Saif, for example, he's just a villain from the start. Like that's just how who he is. Like I think we're past that age in filmmaking where like you got to kind of give your like character development for your villain too. You can't just give it to your hero and that's it. Carry the whole movie on that, right? Like if anything you learn from Rajmouli, like why is Rana such a well-developed character in Bahubali? That's why it works because he's so developed. Otherwise, like it was only Prabhas, like that movie would not have been that big. So I think that was like a bigger issue for me, like that none of the other characters had any sort of development, and developing them is what makes NTR shine even more. If they're the way they're thinking about it is like, oh, maybe like NTR won't shine if like they don't develop. It's actually the opposite, because that's why like even Prabhas got so much acclaim in Bahubali is because all the characters surrounding him were also developed. So that's like one of my biggest like negatives.
Wait, how do you think Safe wasn't developed? I feel like he would like they
But
mentioned
because
it
like from the
too.
beginning, like he
I'm
was just
curious.
yeah, no, I'm saying like because from the beginning he was just a bad guy. Like he
I mean, they
did
showed like him and NTR were working together to basically like they had their differences and stuff, but like they were working together to like do like the thefts and stuff like that. But then and they're both like each leaders of the group, and like they showed that they had like mutual respect for each other because they fought all night, all that stuff too, right? So they showed that mutual respect for each other, but like at the end of the day, their viewpoints are different.
that's the thing. Like I don't think they showed Safe's reasonings to why he's doing what he's doing like enough. It's just like it comes down to the underlying fact that I'm a bad guy, so I got to do this. Like it was what we have
He
to
has
just.
different viewpoints, right? So isn't that basically what he's
It's not
saying?
even no. I'm saying why. Like why is he doing certain? Like for example, like why does he want to go and pirate things when you can go and fish if you want? Like what NTR is saying, go and do fishing and like make your money. Like, but why does he still want to go do pirating and all that stuff?
because
It's
he
just
wants
about bad
he
guys.
wants to have the money. Because he wants to have the money, and on top of that, he looks at it as like,
Get money
huh?
from fishing stuff too.
Yeah,
That's
but he
what
knows
NPR
he
wants
needs
to
to
do,
make more
right?
money with that,
He-
and at the same time, he also partially wants basically like, okay, I don't want him basically constantly doing the show. I want to have like more respect too, because you can tell he's constantly getting irritated by. You can tell he's always getting irritated by him always being the second person, not like NTR is always being the number one person, and he's kind of getting irritated that okay, like he is able to put up a fight with NTR, but he's always considered the second. He's respects him. He has to always like kind of step down, I guess, in a sense, right? Even in like that big fight, he had to do that.
If Koratala watched this shit, he would be like, "Ain't na character lo inta depth unda."
No, that's what I'm saying. I was literally about to just say that. I think you're writing or thinking things more than Quartla even thought about for his Scythe character, because there was not that much depth. I'm telling you, like
There's no
he was
difference
just
between safe
I
and
think
a
everything
typical.
is.
Either corporate villain చూపిస్తారు. He shows up, he kills a member of his own gang to show how ruthless he is. And ఒక BGM play అవుతది, and that's it. He's no different than like
He's-
Adi and like yeah.
he's the same villain character you see in any commercial film, right? That's it. Like he is not like this film was marketed as like an international scope film or whatever, and I think there's several episodes in the film that don't live up to that. Like this is one big problem, like the supporting character stuff. And then there's a couple story points that also are pretty stupid. Like for example, one of them was the whole Mirchi scene that they dumped into this too, with the mom and the
Which
son
one?
in the first half. You know the mom and the son storyline in the first half where the
ఆడే
son
చచ్చిపోతాడు కదా ట్రైన్ బ్లాస్ట్ లో.
he gets blown up in the bus blast, the son.
That happens like
the
every
whole-
movie though.
Okay, that's
That's
no, like you know when the son is going in the see, you don't even remember.
Like he ended up going to like study or something, and then there was a bombing that happened, so
Yeah,
he
yeah,
ended up dying, and then
That's one of the reasons
NTR finds
why-
out when they get arrested.
And
by
that's
the
the,
Navy.
one of the reasons why NTR wants to like change and not pirate anymore, because the weapons they were using are killing their own people or whatever.
Dude, that's better than like every other movie at this point. Like I can name like there's Mirchi, there's KGF, there's fucking
That's point.
War.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Making my
No,
point.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. I was like, I get that.
But okay, so that's just one example. Like another example is like the whole thing in the second half of like Vara's sister getting harassed and stuff. Like that type of shit, dude. Like it doesn't work. Like it doesn't work when you're trying to go for like international scope. Like that's why I think this film is just like a glorified Telugu movie. It's not like it's not another Bahubali. It's not another.
What do you mean by like
I
Vara's
don't know,
sisters
Vara.
all what?
The one where like the episode where like his sister gets like harassed or something by
That's
Sipes.
also like every other movie too.
You were literally
Exactly, that's the point.
No, I know. I'm
That's the problem.
continuing to emphasize that. I'm just continuing to emphasize that.
like if you're trying to rebuttal, you're not doing a good job.
I'm not rebuttaling. I'm just like I didn't hear you
Okay,
properly,
okay.
so that's why I'm trying to like hear, and I'm like, okay, no, I understand what you're saying.
But yeah, no, okay, but that's my second main point of like it doesn't live up to the international mark, and it doesn't have to, but they marketed it like that, and even I mean NTR came to LA and like was at Beyond Fest and stuff. It just this type of film just does not work if this is the story points that we're dealing with. But yeah, I'll shut up now. You guys continue with your negatives.
Dude, how did Gautam Nagar question? How did Safe just gather 29 kids instantly? Like they didn't give a fuck.
The parents did not give two shits about their
They did
kids
not-
for 12
yeah,
years.
Dude, that guy.
No,
they could
he
have been
said
all-
అలా కాదు అక్కడ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ లో చెప్తాడు ద నరేటర్ సేస్ దట్ Saif goes and picks up 29 orphans to adopt them.
Wait, and
Orphans,
what
are you sure?
Orphans.
No, it's not orphans. They show him going to the family's house and taking the kid from the mom.
No, it was mainly orphans.
But they definitely no, they use the word adopted over there.
That తీసుకున్నాడేమో, but I don't think they're orphans, as
I
far
don't
as I
think-
remember.
Yeah.
But
But,
where are orphans gonna come from on this mountain?
No, wait, actually, no, he's right because there's not orphans part, but he ended up mentioning a lot of times that he basically raised all the kids.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just dumb shit like that, dude. It's just like
kidnap
the
చేసుకొని raise చేశాడు.
yeah, dude. These guys,
Terrorist laga.
yeah, basically
This is what I
like how
mean by-
Vijay kidnaps in that one Kushi movie, how he kidnaps all the people in Kashmir, all the kids. But yeah, I mean, there's like some stupid ass scenes like that where those kids are Olympic level swimmers, and there's just scenes that don't hold value, dude. And that dude talks about, oh, I can work for the Navy, let me work, and then he gets murdered by like 10 people. I'm like, cool, I don't give a shit about this character.
Wait, but like also like they are all at the same like level of like strength and expertise, right? How did that kid not realize that these people were gonna kill him?
He's an idiot.
Coming at him. What do you want me to do?
Don't
all
question
the all the all the
You're
holding
gonna-
breath under
you're-
9 water.
Well, what are you gonna do? You're getting kicked.
I don't know. She's saying he should have just dipped the village. Yeah.
why did
Oh.
he even do that in the first place?
They're
Of,
not
like,
very
Yeah, which is
understanding
leave.
people. Mrugal, like she knows, but
Stockholm syndrome.
that's fine. Yeah, that's nitpicking. I don't care. But I'm saying like there's a lot of scenes that are supposed to be like menacing. Like that one dude, he just kicks his mom and it's just jokes. Dude. Every time he kicks her, I'm just like, dude, what is happening?
yeah, like
How
these
are we
small
still writing
points,
characters like this
like,
in
they start
2024?
adding up. They start adding up into like how bad it looks. Like like
Yeah.
it just it's not good.
He's like Asalu Nana Devara Kunjara, and I was like, dude, what are you saying?
No, what's another worst thing is one of the guys in Sife's gang. I don't know if it's his son or the guy that like was with the prostitute. Like he only has scenes with her
Dude,
basically.
that was his son.
Right? I think it's
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was supposed to be the safe son.
yeah, and he just like kills her in that one scene. I'm like, what is happening, dude?
Yeah,
Like
dude.
she asked him like, oh, you're going into the ocean and you're scared, right, tonight or something, and he like smashes her head into the rock. I'm like, what is this?
Dude, I mean, like villainy, like there's so many more creative ways to show villainy than kicking your own mom and this stuff. It was so funny. It just happens out of the blue. I'm like, hey. Like someone take Cortala to the psychiatrist, bro. What the fuck? Dude has some serious problems. The Boya, like, I don't know if him and Boya did some like sitting sessions before before writing the villains. Because that shit gave me Bochu, not Bochu flashback vibes. Gee, where he kept the hair in the compass box.
Nothing will ever be
That's
to
Skanda? That's Skanda.
Not
or-
Skanda, it's the Balkrishna movie.
Akanda.
Oh, Akanda. Yeah.
Yeah, peaked on that Bochu.
Wait, that was Shrikant.
Shrikant.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of, oh my god, Shrikant was so useless in this movie. And then Prakash Raj, oh dude, holy
His
shit,
makeup
Prakash
was
Raj has
so
been
bad.
Prakash Raj is lately I can't watch him, dude. He's unbearable in everything he's in.
What movie was in
Uh,
recently?
No,
He was in
Prakash
this movie called Ryan, and he was ass.
Ryan?
is a
It's the
Tamil
Danish movie.
movie.
Nah, that's
No,
But-
sorry,
Police
you're
officer in
yeah,
that? He's a police
Prakash Raj
officer,
was
right?
basically
huh?
yeah. He's a cop.
yeah. Prakash Raj was basically in this to give elevations. That's it. He didn't have any role or reason. There's a couple.
I think Prakash Raj costume and makeup were horrendous.
Chandalam.
One of
Yeah.
the worst get up.
The
He looks
wig-
like he walked out of Party City. Like the Hyderabad branch or some shit. And then the funniest part is this dude Ajay, who's on his job, is probably like, dude, can this guy shut the I asked where Yetu is. He's telling me about some Devara dude and his son. I don't give a fuck about where's Yeti or Yetu. Whoever the fuck that guy is.
That is one flaw that I don't understand. They mentioned it at the beginning and they never mentioned it again. So I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
like,
like,
Apparently it's Bobby Deol in the second part. Main villain.
And also, like, why isn't this supposed to be all like secretive information that Devara is actually dead? And like, it's like, but he's just giving it for free for Ajay, like for no
Prakash
reason.
Raj. Prakash Raj was also there for all of Janvi's convos with her crew. He was in the bushes listening to them. So he could tell Ajay later. So fucking stupid.
Yeah, that whole the concept of like a character telling a story to another character for the entire movie does not work, dude. That's like some that's some
so,
2000s.
that's KGF 2 and KGF 1 too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but they
no
weren't
one-
telling. He wasn't telling Ajay about Chuttamale like in the middle of the.
I mean, the same thing happened with Bahubali. చాలా మంది అన్నారు ఫ్లాష్ బ్యాక్ లో మనోహర సాంగ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు
oh yeah, that's also true.
It's just funnier. It's funnier in this one because it's like Prakash Raj literally looks like he's bored as hell.
No, it's like see, this is nitpicks, okay? These
It's
are nitpicks.
nitpicks. It's nitpicks.
Like,
I know.
It's because the movie like doesn't live up to what we thought is when you come down to this level of like nitpicking this type of shit, right?
అంటే ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్ లేకుండా వెళ్ళాలి సినిమాకి.
How can you not go with that expectations? It's a fucking
Basically-
Because I
And
did not
trailers
like the
release చేసిన
trailer.
తర్వాత expectations లేవంటే
Actually, I think I'm the only one who did not like the trailer, and I thought the movie would actually be average.
no,
No,
actually,
ఒక్కడే
I didn't like
కాదు
the trailer.
అందరికి ట్రైలర్ క్లిక్ అవ్వలేదు.
yeah, actually a lot of people didn't like it.
సెకండ్
I
ట్రైలర్
called the plot twist when I saw the
I
trailer.
think, dude, I think
సినిమాలో ట్విస్ట్ ఏంటి?
everybody called that. Are you
Oh,
talking about
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I did not call it. I did not expect that the son would be acting as the father.
Do
శ్రీకాంత్
you think the father was
అనుకున్నావా?
acting as the son?
No, I thought there would actually be a grandfather.
Wow,
Third
more.
one. Yeah. No, that was
ఎవరో
actually a rumor.
Instagram.
That was a rumor that they're
Instagram
That'd
లో
be
ఎవరో అన్నాడు.
అయితే అది ఖచ్చితంగా బాయ్ పార్టీ మూవీనే అవుతుంది అప్పుడు.
yeah.
దేవరా, వర, and then తాత వర.
బాలయ్య వస్తాడు.
బాలయ్య.
Devarata, Salar comes.
Dude, so I agree. I'm nitpicking, but I just thought the scenes were funny, and Nicole's on that. Nicole's a fan, so I have to fuck around a little and nitpick, but
I know this is all nitpicking. That's why I'm
it's funny as
No,
fuck.
no,
like, I haven't heard a single actual genuine argument.
Okay,
that-
I'll tell you my actual
There are
negatives.
still main issues. Like I
I'll
already
tell you-
said.
No, 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 I know. I'm listening.
I'll tell you my negatives is the movie has the like Sai said, it's a NTR one-man show because none of the villains, dude. Like for example, the dude with the eye that's cut off, he just complains and whines the whole movie. None of them are menacing. I'm never like scared of them. I'm never like fearing them. I don't think they're well-written characters. Even Devara's wife, like his own wife, that they're like Vara's daughter or Vara's sister, all these people. Like we don't give a shit about any of them. The only person you care about is NTR. And for a movie that's based around 4 villages, you don't care about Srikant. You don't care about anyone in the villages. There's no emotional connect. I had the same issue in Kalki. I didn't give a shit about anyone besides Prabhas and Deepika and Amitabh. You know, like they just failed to write good supporting cast. And star power can only take a movie so far, right? If you weren't a fan of NTR, like you would agree that they're just the side characters don't have a good role at all. That's an interest like when they come on screen. I'm like, yo, get the fuck off screen, show me NTR again. You know? And Safe second half, he'd be best friends with Mahesh Babu's dad and Guntur Karam because they both just look out windows. That's all they do. Like, he's just gone in the second half, dude. In the
అదే
first half,
చెట్లు
Safe's
ఎత్తుకుతున్నాడు.
yeah, Chetla Etkutunadu. He's like
wait, I just thought of something that's crazy. But he gets his arm broken before the climax, so he couldn't go into the ocean. I found that to be the stupidest like plot.
No, he doesn't break it, right? Someone else breaks it.
Yeah,
Someone
okay, but that's so like convenient. Like, what the fuck? How does he get his
Yeah.
arm broken randomly
Yeah.
right before they decide
He
to? Or,
ended up mentioning this guy ended up breaking his arm, and
Yeah.
he
oh, okay.
breaks-
Safe is supposed to be some crazy villain, and some random Gotangado goes up to him and breaks his arm in the middle of his sleep.
No, this is the same guy that kicks his mom, so he's not a good he's an important character. He's the saddest, he's a level 1 saddest. Dude,
And
no,
instead of killing him right then and there, he waits until the next day, and then like he still lets them go for some reason.
like the more powerful your villain is, the more powerful your hero is. So,
Mm.
and actually, I didn't like it, but SJ Surya was crazy, and that elevated Nani like finally hitting him that first punch. You're like that, got that. Here, like like there's some scenes I thought were amazing. Like for example, when the Navy officers captured Devara and his crew, that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie because Safe immediately tries to kill them, and you see NTR like shift, and he fights off all of them at once, and you see the shift in his eyes. He's like, "What are we doing? We're becoming Mrugalu." You know, that's a beautiful scene. That's his character arc. That's when he changes his ways. You see tears in his eyes when you find out he inadvertently killed one of his own, and that's a great scene. NTR has a beautiful character arc. And he even tells his son, he's like, my stories aren't great. Natatalaga ni MJ. Like I don't do much. He has beautiful moments like that, but no one else in the film does, right? Safe doesn't. Maybe they can show that Srikant, he wants to cure his daughter's blindness, and the smuggling is the only way to do that, or his Chelly's blindness, whatever. They don't explore that route. These guys are just smugglers and they're just evil because they want money. But I wish we empathize with the villains more because no one else has any scope besides NTR, and I think that's just objectively true. I don't think anyone has a role in this movie besides NTR. And if you're a fan, that's great. But for neutral audiences, it's tough to sell, right? Like it's tough to sell if I'm not a fan. Like if this was like a Ramcharan movie, I'd it's yeah, you get what I'm gonna say next because I'm a neutral. I mean, I dislike as fuck. Okay, if this was a neutral hero and it had to ride off of him the whole movie, I couldn't sit through it. But NTR alone makes this movie watchable, and that's not a trait of a great movie, in my opinion.
I think that
Give me-
counts.
yeah.
Like I said, like your supporting cast, like how well they're developed elevates your hero even more. So like Rajmouli learned that lesson earlier on. I mean, he used to make these routine Rata commercial movies also back in the day, but he learned that and ever since then, like he's been making really good films. That's why we get Bahubali or whatever. So yeah, your supporting cast is just as important. Your villain is just as important, if not even more important than your hero.
I'm trying to think, when was the last time for an NTR movie had a strong villain aside from Arvind Samantha?
Like never. That's why I don't watch his movies.
No, but I feel like that's kind of like
Would you
partakes
say
in it, right?
Temper?
Like it's like NTR is such
Wait, what
strong.
movie did you say?
Temper?
Temper. Oh yeah, Temper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tempo was good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's more of
Also,
like comedic.
Nanak
also,
Premata also.
yeah, Nanak Premato. I can't.
I mean, the movie not great, but Jagoti Babu was a good.
Yeah, Jagat Babu was good
It's
as a
like
villain.
Jagapal Babu was like in like two of the main movies. Like Temper was more of like a comedic
Dude,
hero.
can you not call those villains comedy? Bro?
Yeah, can
No,
you
I'm saying
what?
Temper. I'm saying like
the hell?
Temper. No, I'm saying in
Oh, but
Temper.
Prakash Raj isn't the villain in that movie. He's Boost
His
villain.
brothers.
Yeah, I mean, like it was mostly like both of them.
Tempo was more about the situation than the characters. Like the
Yeah,
situation.
it was basically like I think like if you're looking at actual like villains, it was Jagapati Babu was like a
Yeah,
good
okay.
villain, and for both like his two movies we had the strongest villains was both Jagapati Babu, and I feel like that and Jagapati Babu was a crazy actor, so I think it's basically like being like not only like I mean not no hate to say Ali Khan, but I think like Jagapati Babu as like a villain role, he was just so much like more. He was a better fit for a villainous role, so I feel like they put Jagapati Babu instead, and they made him. I don't know. I
No,
think
no,
Oh,
the
dude, I
writing
think it's.
skill
I
is
think.
bad.
I think this.
Oh, better.
The
For, I
writing.
think Safe is a far better actor than Jagapati. First of all, but the
I'm
script.
saying like I guess in that case it probably is the writing then, right? But like
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also like NTR's acting will also overshadow it. So if you put like some like actor that's not as good, right? Like let's say
Like
I was
Ram
about,
Charan. Yeah.
yeah, I know I was about to say that, but, I don't say that. But yeah, see if you put RC in there, you would think if you put RC in there, you see RC acting, you'd be like, all right, like everyone else is probably like okay, like you wouldn't think NTR, like you wouldn't think like oh RC's acting so much there, the supporting cast is kind of like it's like non-existent. Like if the actor's acting skills is so much better and like in his story and I guess everything is so much better, right? His character development, everything is so much better, but then everyone else is kind of subpar, then okay, like you're like, okay, well fuck, you notice that difference a lot more. But if the actor himself is like mid shit, then and if everyone else is kind of mid, then it'll kind of level everything out. Does that make sense? Does that
But
make
I
sense?
think it's an acting issue in terms of the supporting cast. Like they're fine.
So you
They're
think it's
just,
like yeah, I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know like what the impact of like okay, so you're saying like so you're basically saying like the scope, right? Like the characters didn't have as much scope, which
yeah,
sounds crazy.
their writing was really poor. That's why like they didn't work.
That makes sense.
What about you three? It's just been us three talking for a little bit. What do you, Gautam, Ankit, and Anis? What are your negatives? Or
క్యారెక్టర్ ఓకే నెగిటివ్స్ వచ్చి నేను పాజిటివ్స్ లో చెప్పాను, నెగిటివ్ లో నాకు చెప్తున్నా క్యారెక్టర్ డెవలప్మెంట్.
Mm,
ఫస్ట్ హాఫ్ చూసినప్పుడు ఎన్టీఆర్ మెయిన్ ఆబ్వియస్ గా, బట్ వాళ్ళు చెప్తారు ఇలా దేర్ యాన్సిస్టర్స్ ఫర్ ఫైటర్స్ ఐ థింక్ దే కుడ్ నాట్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్ ఎల్స్, చేతగాక దేర్ కమిటింగ్ పైరేటరీ అని. అండ్ దేర్ ఇస్ అట్లీస్ట్ సమ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఇన్ ఫస్ట్ హాఫ్, అండ్ దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ వాజ్ యాక్చువల్లీ హ్యాపీ అబౌట్ వాచింగ్ ద మూవీ. మూవీ మొత్తం ఇలాగే ఉంటది, రొట్ట కమర్షియల్ సినిమా కాదు అని చెప్పి. బట్ సెకండ్ హాఫ్ బికమ్స్ కంప్లీట్లీ ల్యాక్ ఆర్ వాయిడ్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ కాంపిటెంట్ రైటింగ్. క్యారెక్టర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఉండదు. ఇట్ సింప్లీ గోస్ టు ద మోషన్స్. లైక్ ఎలా ఉంటదంటే ఒక ఆడ్రాల్ పిల్ తీసుకుని ఫస్ట్ హాఫ్ స్క్రిప్ట్ అంతా రాసి ఆడ్రాల్ ఎఫెక్ట్ అయిపోయాక సెకండ్ హాఫ్ రాసినట్టు ఉంటది. దట్స్ నో క్యారెక్టర్ డెవలప్మెంట్. జాన్వీ క్యారెక్టర్ కంప్లీట్లీ అన్నెసెసరీ అక్కడ. ఇట్ ఓన్లీ డిస్ట్రాయ్స్ ద ఫ్లో ఆఫ్ ద మూవీ. ఆ సాంగ్ కూడా వేస్ట్ అక్కడ. లైక్ ఇందాక ఎవరో మెన్షన్ చేశారు, ఆ ఫైటింగ్ సీన్ కి వెళ్తానికి ముందు ఆ సాంగ్ పెట్టి టెంపో మొత్తం మూవీలో డ్యామేజ్ అవుతుంది. అండ్ ది ఎండింగ్ ఆనెస్ట్లీ I think the interval scene has more impact than the ending. So
I don't
people
think they
did
should
not.
have, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have revealed that Devara killed Devara. I feel like that was like a really dumb way to end the film.
Yeah. No, that
But
ending I
yeah,
was gonna get to it. I think that was a stupid ending. Like I remember after it happened, it really left like a bad taste in my mouth because they dialogue to dialogue dimped it from Bahubali to this. Like what Ajay says to Prakash Raj about like, oh, who is the guy that could kill Devara? And literally dialogue to dialogue, right? And then showing the son doing it and stuff, I was like, this is stupid. Like if they're actually gonna go along with the son doing it, what kind of reasoning with Kortla's writing skills can he come up with to show that the son had been tricked or whatever to do this. Like it's just stupid. Like even Katappa killing Bahubali is a tough sell because of how Katappa's character has been established. But Rajmouli like barely pulled it off, I would say, in Bahubali 2 to like explain why. This I have no belief that Courtla can write around this.
Okay, on that same concept, I don't think there should be a part 2. Like these types of movies, they can be done in one part. And I don't know, if you guys agree with that?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
good.
agreed. I don't
Thank
see the
God.
scope.
ఎన్టీఆర్ తనే
Bahubali-
చెప్పాడు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో. He literally said, I don't want this to be I don't know why they made it a two-parter, but he
Actually, ఇవాళ
literally said.
మార్నింగ్ ఒక ఇంటర్వ్యూ చూసా ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ లో. కొరటాల వాజ్ లైక్, మేము ముందు వన్ పార్ట్ కనే స్క్రిప్ట్ రాసాము, నాకు ఇష్టం లేదు, ఎన్టీఆర్ కి ఇష్టం లేదు, బట్ వీ రోట్ సో మెనీ సీన్స్ దట్ ఇట్ బికేమ్ 2 parts. We could
I
not
know.
condense it into one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said there was like 5 hours or something. Like
5 hours of
Mm.
the
footage.
first movie, like whole
But that
thing.
doesn't mean you have to show all 5 hours of the footage.
Yeah.
Whatever you shot doesn't
There
mean
was shots where they repeated the same shot in the film.
Mhm.
So I'm like, 5-hour footage ఎక్కడ వెళ్ళింది?
Smuggling, like the 2 smuggling scenes they did, they used the same exact
same,
shots. Crates dimpadam. It's the same
Yeah.
ship too. I'm like, damn, they really got so lazy the second time around.
Especially the
And
first
also,
scene went on for so fucking long. Like it did not need to be that long.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I felt was wrong with the movie. Is like there was a lot of lag in the movie. Like they could have cut out like a good amount of the movie, and like the pacing would have been much faster than what they had. Like you guys were talking about those scenes, like the tension was they were trying to build it wasn't really being built, but they could have cut that out. There's a lot of scenes which like just repetitive throughout the movie. Like I think it was mostly in the second half. I felt like because second half was more of that like commercial movie aspects. Like they just went all out in terms of making scenes that were too long that didn't need to be there. Just random things. So I think that's one of the biggest problems for me was like I was genuinely bored sometimes because of the fact that like these scenes just went on forever.
Gautam, you were saying something?
no, since we were comparing it to Bahubali, ఇప్పుడు బాహుబలి 1 లో ఏంటి, even if the movie was left on a cliffhanger, we know that the main point of Bahubali 2 is killing Rana and getting the kingdom back. ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే we don't know what the story of Devara 2 is. We can only make assumptions, maybe about the terrorists coming to India or whatever. There is no proper reason for Devara 2, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because safe, he has no one now. His whole army got wiped out in the climax. అతను ఒక్కడే ఉంటాడు ఇప్పుడు village లో. His 29 swimmers, I think, were there, right? Like they died.
They're not
like his,
dead. No, they did not
Oh.
die. He just there's an X on the back.
No, I
I
think
thought
they
died.
I
No?
think they died. ఎందుకంటే ఆ
No,
శవాలు అన్ని
because-
boat మీద ఉంటాయి కదా climax లో.
Because
Yeah,
NTR
but-
says that if everyone else is hurt and if I'm not hurt, then I'm a doubt వస్తుంది. The same
No,
applies
Chachi-
to
no, he killed
being
No,
himself.
dead.
that's why he puts the X on the back is to make
No,
sure
no.
that like he
That was
made
him.
it out alive, but they
Could be the
couldn't.
only survivor, yeah, exactly, of the batch.
But the
I don't
చచ్చిపోయాడు
think
నా
being-
understanding. I thought he killed himself.
No, he didn't
Yeah, I
die.
also
No.
thought he killed himself.
No, he didn't die.
Oh,
I think
what?
he, I think he like passed out or whatever.
Then why did they overact? He'd be fine still, even after he got.
Yeah.
Just
I think he was
overacted
supposed to
was-
have died, dude. I don't think he was supposed.
I don't
way.
think so. I don't
Oh,
think
No,
in the
he's
scene,
alive.
in the scene has no
And
weight.
on
In
the
that scene,
back.
Yeah,
He
I
And
guess.
మిగతా అందరినీ కూడా he
No.
doesn't kill anyone. He only does the X on the
yeah.
back.
Even Prakash Raj, he says like, I can't bear to see your blood in the view of like whatever my eyes. Like I don't want to do it, so he does it himself. I don't think it's to kill himself.
Yeah, it's just because like the wounds are really deep or whatever, right? Because like you could see him like really struggling and stuff. So it's like he doesn't want to hurt him, but he
No,
definitely
I
doesn't
just-
die in that movie.
Well, they yeah, I don't know. I didn't think they did a good job with that because I thought they looked like Shavalu on a boat.
Though
And
I
the
mean,
first-
those guys, I agree. I think those guys are dead, but I don't think NTR is dead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he is for part 2. Kind of like even the first time it happened, everyone on that boat did die except Shine Tom Chaco. He was the only guy that lived. Actually, I think he died too.
No, he killed him too. Yeah.
He's the blind guy.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone there died the first time Devara did the X shit. So I thought same thing happened when Vara did it.
First time. No, he didn't die the first time. Shine Tom Chaco
You know,
survived.
so only one survivor. And just the
No,
brutal.
even when Devara is killing people, a interval climax చంపుతాడు. In every other scene is only scarring people and letting them go.
Mm.
Yeah.
maybe.
But it is, I mean, that is their fault. Like that we can't even figure that out.
Yeah.
The fact that I have this doubt is like, that says
Bad
something,
writing.
right?
Yeah.
ఎందుకంటే ఒక సెంటిమెంటల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ మ్యూజిక్ పెట్టి అంత డ్రమాటిక్ డైలాగ్స్ ఇస్తే I thought, oh, for sure Vara is going to kill himself. I thought, లేకపోతే if he's just injuring himself, he's a Telugu hero, he'll be fine. రేపు లేస్తాడు and he'll be perfectly healed, you know. But yeah,
Or
I don't
think
know.
there's gonna be another Devara. Devara,
I hope
like
not.
a little kid.
Really hope.
Devarata, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
దేవరా వర అడుకొడుకురా.
yeah, I don't think this movie needs a second part, and I don't know if it will. If it flops, first one will flops. If it does, second one goes to the scope.
Isn't it a hit?
I think it's
Kind
too
of
early to tell.
mixed talk.
Yeah, it's mixed talk.
Um,
Well, money wise, I think it's doing well, but we don't know how it's gonna do this
It's
week.
only been like 3 days, yeah. So you never know.
I mean,
NTR
the
movies
break-
also open big.
I
Slow.
was telling you guys after the
Oh,
first
never open. Like,
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
NTR movies, like compared to other heroes, they actually don't open that big.
yeah, they don't open big. True.
I mean, also, like a proper movie, what it's been like 6 years or something, right?
Solo movie, yeah, 6 years.
And the market has changed a lot in the 6 years.
But
He has
I was
crazy
telling you
pull.
guys, like, after the
Yeah.
first half was done, I thought the film would be a blockbuster. To be honest,
Kada?
that after the first half was done, I was like, okay, I think he's done it. And then the second half started, and I was like, shit. Like, the buckler started showing a lot more.
Ade.
The first
the
half
second
came
half
out, I was like,
started-
holy shit, yeah.
When you see the Jabardast batch, అర్థమైపోతుంది సినిమా ఏ డైరెక్షన్ లో వెళ్తుందని.
అయిపోయింది.
Get up Sinu, is that his name? When you see his face, నీకు అర్థమవుతుంది ఎక్కడ వెళ్తుందని.
The tempo is so different for the first half and the second half.
Yeah.
అది కూడా ఒక disharmony create చేస్తుంది.
Yeah.
Do you guys wish that like they mixed the first and second half in a different way instead of like putting all of like Devara's impact scenes in the first part and then Vara's scenes in the second, rather mixed it Vara, Devara throughout?
I
Like
think
some KGF type.
he did it on purpose.
KGF was like current day, back in the day,
Yeah,
current
something
day,
like
back in the day.
I actually
think-
like the fact that they didn't do that. Oh, go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Auntie.
Yeah, I like the fact that they didn't do that because it's like every movie, like Bahubali, starts out in the present day, goes back to the past, is like the second half. It's like, you know how Basha is just like the same thing. Like every movie has that character backstory and then like flash forward again. I like there was one constant narrative from the beginning to like the ending. Like instead of them trying to go back and forth and do everything that's like been done before, like they're at least trying to make it sure that it's one like constant pace.
Yeah, no, like I was telling Ankit about it too. I was like, they basically like flip the script because usually in any film that you see, yeah, the father's always like introduced in the second half.
Mhm.
It's always this like in a double action role. Like the son is like takes over the first half. It always goes the comedy angle. The heroine's there, all that stuff, songs, everything is in the first half. What we saw in the second half basically is the first half, and then the father character is introduced because the son's like, oh, who's my dad, and then someone tells him. That's the entire second half. And it ends with like that being the main story. But here we saw the main story in the first half, so you're already left on like an emotional high, and then you go back down to see the son's story, and it's not that great. So that's why you're kind of like disappointed.
I kind of
Devara character చాలా బాగుంటుంది. His story is interesting. Vara was not engaging at all.
Yeah,
no, I kind of think that I
Malcolm,
feel like
didn't you say in the beginning that you really like this?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the beginning he also said characters లో bold అంత depth ఉంటుంది. And then
Yeah.
he's
I think
like,
I
And
didn't.
I said the same.
I
And
think
I also said the same thing during the negatives. ఫస్ట్ పార్ట్ చూసినప్పుడు సాయి లాగా మూవీ అదిరిపోద్ది, ఎన్టీఆర్ కి వన్ మ్యాన్ షో కాకుండా వేరే వాళ్ళకి కూడా కొంచెం కొంచెం క్యారెక్టర్ ఇస్తున్నారు. సెకండ్ హాఫ్ లో అసలు నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్కి వెళ్ళిపోద్ది, దేర్ విల్ బి నో నెగటివ్స్ అనుకున్నా. సెకండ్ హాఫ్ చూసాక వెళ్ళిపోయింది.
no, I think I
also,
look feel like if they ended up just having the entire like, because I feel like they tried to do like I think you said, Akil, like they tried to, it was like a 5-hour movie before, and they just chopped it up to be like, I feel like they did the first half was great, but I feel like if they reorganized it to be a little better and actually made it, instead of trying to make it like a 2-part movie and be like, okay, the second part, the second half of the was like after interval, this entire second half should be like, it should be like, should still have like a climax and everything, but it should also be in like cliffhanger. Instead of doing all that, they just made it one movie, and I feel like it would have been so much better, because I feel like that first half of like setting up the scene, they tried to do so much, and that worked out really well for us, right? But like the second half They tried to do too much, and they tried to incorporate like, oh, we have like another this much. So they just chopped all unnecessary shit out and just made it one movie. I feel it would have been so much better. Like that issues we had for the second half, I don't think would have been there if they just decided to say fuck it and just made it one movie instead of trying to do too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we all agree that it should have been one part.
Yeah, I've said everything that I have. Do you guys have any more thoughts on the movie?
Yeah, I
No.
have one more thought.
Yeah, go for
Okay,
it.
this might get me like killed, but I feel like this was not NTR's best work, and it's not his fault. Like I've seen him do much better acting, like in Arvinda Sameta, but in this one it was the plot. Like it didn't give him the scope to give his like all in terms of like when he feels sad, like Nubukora, like you'll also feel that like sadness, but in here because like there was no development in other places, like it just he couldn't convey anything to
I
me.
agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah, I was scared to say this the entire time, Kuncha. I was like sweating.
No, I feel like personally, like I still felt the emotions just because it's been so long since I've seen him on the big screen. But I think overall, like, no, I do agree. Like, this wasn't his best performance, but I feel it just comes to say, like, I don't remember the last movie he's done, which like it's not just carried off his acting. It's like it was actually a good story. Like love NTR obviously, but I don't think he has the best sense of like selecting stories. Like I think Nani has a great selection of great ability to like select stories. If he's able to get like if he's able to do movies like Nani's level of like script selection with like NTR's level of acting, like no hate to Nani, Nani's also a great actor, but like I think this guy's level of acting, if he still had good script selection, I think that would have been perfect. But I don't think there's any movie like that. Any movie I can think about is basically just it's gotten to be as good as any intro movie that I can think off the top of my head right now. Most of the movies they got, it's not like crazy story by any means. It's mostly pretty simple, generic movies, but they just ride on his acting and it's just like how strong of an actor he is. So I agree in that sense.
Yeah, I thought he acted well. But I think he just had shit writing team because when he finds out like the kid died, when he's talking to the mom, he's like, like I can't look at you in the eyes. I like I seen I felt zero emotion because they showed this Bilabacha dude for like 5 minutes and I knew he was gonna die when he showed up. But like when he's talking to his mom, NTR does crying really well, in my opinion. ఆర్ఆర్ఆర్లో కూడా కనిపిస్తది like నేను అడవి తల్లి నేను అడవి మనిషి తల్లి like that scene like he does crying really well in my opinion. Out of all the tier ones, like he cries really well. So I think he did well in that. And then abort me the Japan. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. It's when he stops them from killing that officer. The change in his eyes or the change in his attitude.
I think he can act the best with his eyes.
Yeah, yeah. He's crazy in that scene. But once and I think even at the in the Srikant sister's wedding, he looks so like he literally looks like he's at a wedding having fun, just dancing all vibes, you know. Um he's such a warm presence to watch on screen and I haven't seen him in a long time. So he gave it his all. He gave it the best he could. Um I don't think any other hero could have elevated it any better. Like it's Koratala's writing is the worst part of this movie. Anirudh came, you know, NTR showed up to work, Anirudh showed up to work. I think everyone else did
Would
PTO.
you really say Anirudh showed up to work? He had one song, like the Fear song. Malli ade malli రుద్దుతూనే ఉన్నాడు.
But the
Yeah,
I like the BGM. I don't know. Personally, I liked it.
Yeah,
It was good, but like even when there was no elevation, he would just be like, "Okay, I gotta insert it, like to add something." ఏదో emotion add చేయడానికి.
just
And
because
also,
I don't know if that was like him doing it or like if they just felt like we need to pulse it up or whatever a notch and then they threw it in there for random stuff. But yeah.
well, I guess like you could say Anirudh did a good job. The music placement was kind of questionable.
Yeah.
And also like the Fear song, like with like the metal music in a village, just like did not like I like the song. I
That was
listened to it a
actually
lot.
one of my negatives. I think they visualized that very poorly.
I
Like
agree.
the visuals for that song were terrible. That is not what I was expecting to see when I like walked in like watching that song because I love the song, but what they showed was atrocious. Like it
Was
did
that
not.
the one where they just killed like a bunch of people? And
Yeah,
they had
he
that
throws the
montage?
shipment. He throws a shipment off the cliff and it
Oh,
explodes.
yeah.
There's parts of that scene, like in the Fear song, where I was like, this looks like scenes from Aparichitudu. Where, you know, like there's like flames around him and he's like in the underground. I was
Yeah,
like, oh
it's
my god,
random shit they put in that. Yeah.
what?
You're waiting the whole movie to hear Koromina and then Kosukunta.
Yeah, I was like, Chichi. I was sitting even through like the freaking title, like the ending cards, and I'm like, yo, where's the song? Is it coming now?
Yeah, dude, I know. I was so sad. I was like, damn, I actually like I wanted to see him dance on the big screen because you know, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think
like Ankit mentioned, the cinematography also pretty good.
yeah. Can
I
ఈ
think it's
రోజుల్లో
better than
అన్ని బాగానే ఉంటాయి కదా cinematography. It's a given if you have a big hero, I think, at least.
It was a little iffy in my opinion in some places. Like the lighting was pretty fake. Like for example, like those ship robbery scenes they go on, the pirating scenes, I thought were terribly shot. The lighting was
I mean,
They had like
the
fluorescent
CGI
lights.
problem. That's more of a CGI thing, right?
no, it's lighting, not CGI. It's lighting. Like you can just like for example that scene where like NTR flips in his character shades, like the second time they go to pirate, it's all just random yellow lights on their face, and it doesn't mesh with the background. It just everything looks fake in that whole scene.
I think I
Yeah.
was mentioning like certain scenes, like I think it was the interval scene where he kills everybody and he sits down and it's like the wide shot and like
That looked cool.
close up. Like that was an insane
was-
shot. Like there was a
yeah,
bunch of like fight scenes. Like I thought they shot really well. Maybe I wasn't paying way too much attention on like the ship scenes, etc. Like the lighting. Maybe like it could be that, but I think when they went off on the lighting, like they did really good work on there.
yeah.
All right, well, if that's all the comments that we have, then we can give our number score for this movie. And how you'd compare it to like maybe Kortal's other work because I liked it more than Janata Garage. So I'll give it that. I give it like now that we talked a little more about this, I'll probably bump it down a little bit, but I still think it's a above average good one-time watch. But I'm telling right now, no, I don't think I can. The first half is just exposition. So I probably will never watch it again. So it's like a 6.5 for me. But it's not a bad movie. It definitely doesn't deserve any of the hate online. Like not any. It deserves some for Janvi, but it doesn't deserve people saying it's as bad as like Double Ishmart or Gundarkaram or Sainda or like
The worst Acharya.
or
Everyone-
Acharya. People are saying it's as bad as
No,
Acharya.
Yeah.
That's the
Padagattam is
finest.
way worse.
Padagattam
So
is the worst.
Padagattam is the worst.
Oh,
Six and a
that's
half
one thing.
is
Like, if oh yeah, go ahead.
no. You go.
That's one thing that like I literally told to like Asai in the middle of the movie, like in the interval, I was like, there's a lot of scenes that he just recycled throughout his like cinema, like his filmography. Like we had the Mirchi scene, then we had like the Pataga, like all of that. Like and there was a couple more scenes, but I was like, dude, like this dude is just so lazy with his like writing that he just
Wait, what's
can't
the
make new
Mirchi
scenes.
scene?
Mirchi
The
scene is like
stuff.
Yeah,
in
go
the
ahead.
Staff, like where like the mother, like they live in NTR's village. He goes to visit them, and the mother's like, "I'm sending my son to study abroad or out of the village and stuff." And then he dies in a bus accident, like a few scenes later. I know
Happens
it's
in
not
Mirchi
forgettable
too?
exactly.
Mirchilo, like he gives money to the mom. He's like Sonta, like the whole
He makes
that's
the head of the house like go
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
The
help
mom
that.
drinks Purgul Mandu, goes to the hospital. Yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
happens
Yeah,
like
sorry,
every other
different
movie.
scenes.
It's
Okay,
not just
got
like
you.
Kurokawa movie though.
yeah. It's not just Kortal. Yeah, I agree, but I think
But
since it is a Kortal movie, they're just comparing it.
yeah.
But yeah, 6.5
Um,
is what I give it. Yeah.
Okay, Ankit, you can rate because you were starting to talk.
What
You can give it your rating.
rating? It hasn't changed since the last time. It's still 5.5.
Wow.
I'm okay at
Jagrata. Next
No, I
time,
think so. I still think it's an above average movie. So for me, like 5 is completely like mid, like average, whatever. 5.5 is like I still enjoyed moments here and there, but for the most part, like Akil said, like I'm not gonna watch this movie again. I didn't regret going to watch it, obviously, but like it's not like I came out of the theater like overjoyed.
Okay, I have
next
one
time,
more question.
Jagrata తిరుగు నా దగ్గర.
ఎలాగో జాగ్రత్త తిరుగుతాడులే తేడాగాడు
Wait, yo, wait,
మీ దగ్గర నేర్చుకుంది.
Ankit, what movie did you rate the highest as of recently? Aside from what, Dasara? Dirty ass mofo.
Sorry about that Senivaram actually.
What did he put? Sorry,
He
brother.
gave it like a 7 or 7.5. I don't remember.
Actually, just go kill yourself, motherfucker. You're
Wow.
useless. That is that. Wow.
Dude, can you not promote self? Oh, it's an hour,
Yeah.
10 minutes. Yeah, no one's watching at
I
this
was just
point.
like
Yeah.
to say,
Dude, say whatever
your
the fuck you want.
Cool. Your favorite actor is
Buri will
a
watch.
side
It's
actor in
okay.
RR.
Yeah, that's fine. He'll text that.
Buri watches this shit without even watching the movie. Like, yo, I watched your review. I'm like, did you watch the movie? He's like, no. And I'm like, dude, what did you understand?
Okay, all right, cool. Go give your rating. 10 out of 10, right?
I gave it an
Hmm?
8.
Okay,
I
thank
honestly
God.
give it an 8. I enjoyed it so much. I mean, yeah, like once you guys mentioned it, I was like, I see where I guess a little bit of the drawbacks are, but I think I still genuinely enjoyed it through and throughout. And everyone I watched it might have just been like my experience might have been great, but yeah, I think a lot of the drawbacks were nitpicky. I mean, I'm not to say that there weren't any drawbacks, there for sure are, but I genuinely enjoyed it through and throughout, so I'd for sure give it an 8. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, without a doubt.
Gautam, another.
7.5 and reasoning కూడా ఇస్తా. I think first half was a 8/10, second half was a 6/10, average is the 7/10 వస్తుంది. But Ayudha Puja was such a amazing experience for me. Honestly, I want to bump it up to 8, కానీ అది మరి అత్త ఇద్దని చెప్పి 7.5/10.
Wow, very
You know,
kind.
నీకు అర్థం కావట్లా, నాకు ఏదో ఆయుధ పూజ చూస్తుంటే యుఫోరియా లాగా వచ్చేసింది ఒక మ్యాడ్నెస్. ఐ వాస్ సో హ్యాపీ వాచింగ్ దట్ థింగ్ ఆన్ స్క్రీన్. అండ్ ఎందుకంటే మూవీకి ముందు సాంగ్ విని ఇదేం పనికిరాని సాంగ్ అనుకున్నా నేను. బట్ వాచింగ్ ఎన్టీఆర్ ఓవర్ దేర్, లైక్ యూ సెడ్, హీ ఫీల్ సో హ్యాపీ యాక్చువల్లీ డాన్సింగ్ ఇన్ దట్ సాంగ్ విత్ ద మ్యారేజ్ కదా. అలాగే ఈ సాంగ్ కి చూస్తుంటే సమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎమోషన్స్ వచ్చేసింది.
He has fun. He had fun making
Yeah.
it. You can tell. Yeah.
I think for me, one of the reasons why I get it be so high is because like it's been so long since I've seen like his own movie, and just the fact that he's able to act with his eyes, and I haven't seen any other actor really like exert so much emotions with just like his eyes, right? So I think just that has just got me so hooked when like with like I was starting to feel a lot of the emotions that he's like exerting too, right? He's kind of showing off too. So I don't know, I connected with a lot. That's why I liked it a lot. But yeah, like also like Adam said, I think the first half just I had to rank the first half itself. I would rank it like a 9. I was like, holy shit, this is
Fair.
insane. I
Yeah.
remember I texted you guys too. I was like, dude, this movie's insane. This movie's cracked. And
Yeah.
then after I was the second half, I was like, all right, this movie's still good. That means
నేను మెసేజ్ చూసాను, చెప్దాం అనుకున్నా సెకండ్ హాఫ్ రాడ్ ఉంటుందని. సరే ఫీల్ అవుతాను.
I said, like, let's see what you say after the second half.
yeah, no, thankfully I didn't see that till I was done with the movie.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't say I wouldn't dog on the second half as much. But like yeah, I mean, if you compare it to the first half was just insane. So that's why I'd still give it an 8.
Yeah. No, he acts really well with his eyes. Second best in the industry, but yeah.
Dude, stop.
Who's the
దెంగితే
first?
దేవరా అంట.
No,
Who's the
this
first?
guy's gonna say fucking PK.
First, yeah.
This
He's
motherfucker can't
dude,
even
he
walk
literally has
properly.
power flowing through his eyes, bro.
Who?
Who else? Pawan Kalyan.
Right now. Oh, yeah, Anis, give your score though.
That's probably the biggest joke.
నాకు
of the
భయం
entire
సార్.
series.
Just give it. I know what it is. It's a 3, isn't it? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
If it's anything that low, I'm leaving the call right now. No. I'm
Dude,
gonna
what kind of threat is that? It's
recording
literally
right
we're
now.
almost done. Say
No,
this
I'm
in the
gonna stop the
beginning.
recording right now. If you
Okay,
start doing it
So
too.
I know, Knuckle, you said like, oh, like stop nitpicking and stuff, but like all of those nitpicking things, like they all add up. Okay, it's supposed to be an international film, so it could have been a 5.5 out of 10. I told Akil it was a 6 out of 10 before Dawoodi. After they disappointed me, it's a 3. అంత పెద్ద like గాయం అయింది నాకు.
ఇంటర్నేషనల్ మూవీ అని ఒక అమీర్పేట్ మూవీ తీశారు గౌతమ్ భయ్య.
The advertisement and the marketing was totally wrong for the movie. రెగ్యులర్ తెలుగు సినిమాలకు అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ చేస్తున్నా ఇంత నెగిటివ్ వచ్చేది కాదు.
ఒక తెల్లోడు వెళ్ళి చూస్తే he's like, why is this chick talking about volcanoes erupting and shit?
No, them coming to LA and doing overaction was the worst part. They should not have done that.
So 3 is your like actual score, right?
Yeah. Full
Is this
send.
the worst? Is this the worst movie you've seen this year? Or after like Double Smart and
Okay, wait. I have to
No,
like base it
double
off of like
Smart.
the value I give the movie, right? So
okay,
it's
is
like,
this the big the most disappointing movie for you this year?
yeah, like Double
Okay.
Smart is gonna be shit anyway. So I was like,
Right.
okay, it's
Okay.
already a 0 out of 10. Like it's not. It's not
So
like a big
okay, so
deal.
this is
Why
so
did you rank higher than this?
Huh?
What movie did you rank higher than this?
Definitely DJ Tulu, like Tulu Squared.
Yeah.
Kalki,
Yeah.
I rated it higher.
What? Wait,
Not
am
even
I the only one who
like
hated Kalki?
Hmm?
I actually
Hate
gave
కాదు
Kalki like a
కానీ
3.
I
I
didn't
hate
hate
Kalki.
Kalki
I
either.
gave it like
I thought it was like a
3.5,
childish
4.
movie.
Yeah,
I
Devara
just thought it was a
Devara
childish
is
movie.
definitely not better than Kalki or Tilu Squared in my opinion.
No, I wouldn't say it's
Definitely
better, but
better
I
than
just
Kalki.
thought like I didn't think Kalki was like as insane as people made. Definitely I enjoyed it still, but I thought it was very like a
Hey, no
childish.
question. Devara is the only answer.
Nagashin చచ్చిపోతాడేమో.
My score stands still. I think I give it a 7 in our first review. I'll still give it a 7. Yeah, like you can say 3.5 stars. You can say 4 stars, NTR, 3 stars go down here. So it makes up for 7. But yeah, I think the flaws still are there. Writing is terrible, but still good watch. Good one-time watch.
సాయి భయం గురించి మర్చిపోతే భయం కొడితే తెప్పిస్తా మళ్ళీ.
Say
Wait,
the,
can I
say
just
the
like
tagline.
rephrase that? It's 2 stars for NTR, 1 star for Anirudh, okay? For
Yeah, but the
me,
difference is his is out of 10,
negative
yours is out
7
of
for
yours is
Colonel
out of
and
5.
Chanvi.
See, you can't
We'll end it on Gautam saying the tagline. Say what you texted me, Gautam.
దెంగితే దేవరా అంటారు ఒక్కొక్కడు.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this long review.
What a beauty! What a beauty!
Wow, amazing. Yes, hearts.
Zing zing.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next time. See you.
అందరూ ఇలా ఆయుధ పూజ వీడియో సాంగ్ చూడండి బోన్.